Hi there, I'm Dr. Patty Havey, medical advisor at Premom. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Premom's channel so you can get more helpful tips for your trying to conceive journey. And feel free to drop your comments or questions below if I miss anything and you feel like you could use some further clarification. Today, we're talking all about ovulation testing do's and don'ts. Let's jump in. Do test between 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. and don't use your first morning urine. While pregnancy tests rely on the concentration of first morning urine, ovulation tests are usually best used in the afternoon or evening, as this is when LH levels tend to be the highest. Do use the Premom app to interpret your ovulation test results. Lay your ovulation test flat on a white or light colored surface in regular lighting, not too bright or too dark, and use your Premom app and phone's camera to take a picture of the test strip. The app will then use its smart technology to identify the test strip is reading low, high, or peak, and will chart it accordingly for you. Too easy. High levels mean you are nearing your fertile window, while a peak reading lets you know that you'll likely be ovulating within 24 hours. If you get a low reading, it just means that you need to keep testing through your peak day. Don't miss your LH surge, and do test twice a day. There are two LH surge patterns. The first is the gradual LH surge that occurs over the course of a few days. You'll notice LH levels slowly increasing for a few days before you actually find your peak day. The second is the rapid LH surge, which occurs quickly over the course of a few hours in just one day. Because nearly 50% of women have this pattern, we recommend testing twice a day just to be sure you don't miss your peak. Do start testing before your estimated fertile window. Start testing the day after your period is done, around cycle day 5. Your ovulation day can be slightly different every cycle. Only about 30% of women have their fertile window entirely within the clinical guidelines of cycle days 10 through 17. So it's important to continuously use ovulation tests to ensure that you don't miss your ovulation day. Do keep your water intake consistent. Try to keep your water intake the same for 2 hours before testing. It's best to not dilute your urine too much so that test results remain consistent each day that you are testing. Do test at least 8 times in the first half of your cycle. We found that users have a higher likelihood of finding their peak if they're testing at least 5 days in their cycle, 1 to 2 times a day. So let's quickly run through how to properly take an ovulation test. 1, start testing after the last day of your period. 2, test your urine between 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. 3, dip the strip up to the max line and allow the dye to rise through the testing window. Lay the strip flat on a light colored surface and then set your timer for 5 minutes. Use your Premom app to take a picture of the strip and analyze your results. Keep testing 1 to 2 times daily until you find your LH peak, and then test a couple more days as your levels decrease. Perform intercourse the 5 days prior to and on your ovulation day. Premom brand and Easy at Home brand ovulation tests are my personal favorites because of how well they work with the app. I trust their quality and they're super easy to use. These are actually the ones that I always recommend while I'm working with fertility patients in my clinic. The reason being, they integrate so easily into the app. They don't have to tape them to a piece of paper. They actually can get them interpreted for them. And what else I really like is the chart that they are actually presented with gives us a lot of information of what's actually going on with their cycles. Again, ovulation testing in the fertility world is so important because that allows you to predict when you are actually going to ovulate. And then that allows you to time intercourse appropriately based on that. If you don't know when you're actually ovulating, then it's very easy to miss intercourse within your fertile window. So that's why intercourse timing is so important and ovulation testing is so key. Those are my do's and don'ts for ovulation testing. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Premom's channel and drop your comments or questions below if I missed anything at all.